Diamonds in the rough. NFL Draft Diamonds. Time to shine.
Hi, my name is Jimmy Williams with NFL Draft Diamonds, and we are presented by the Hula Bowl. Today I have with me one of these draft diamonds, diamonds in the rough. His name is Keiondre Hall. He's a defensive end out of Pittsburg State. Nice to have you on, sir.
Thank you for having me.
So, yeah, I mean, you guys are putting together one hell of a run this season, currently undefeated, going strong. We'll talk about that a little bit. But, buddy, give me some background, if you don't mind. Tell me where you're from and how you eventually got to Pittsburg State.
I'm from Columbia, Missouri. I started playing football in about middle school. And then didn't really take it too serious until about junior year of high school when I started playing defensive end. And fortunately, I had a great teammate that was being recruited by Nebraska in high school and ended up committing there. His name's Javon McQuitty. He gave me the opportunity to go on a visit with him to Nebraska, and that kind of just put me on the map from there and made me take football a little more serious and kind of gave me the confidence and gave me what I needed to realize that I actually have the ability to keep playing football.
Sure. So, I guess that was just kind of like you said you went to Nebraska, right? So,
yeah, it was a junior day visit.
Okay.
And, unofficial for me, and then kind of like an official for him because he ended up committing that day.
Gotcha. So, but for you ended up going to Pittsburg State, obviously right. Division II program. How did all that work out?
With all that, so after the Nebraska, I kept getting like a bunch of camp invites, ended up going to the opening invite, just ended up having good camps. So I took a camp visit to KU, and when I went there, they had a grad assistant coach at the time, Coach Nate Dryling, who actually played at Pitt State. He was still interested in me, not enough to get a KU offer, but he got a job here at Pitt State after that camp, and eventually extended the offer to come to Pitt. And I just came down here, loved the place. I was like, this place I need to be at.
Well, I mean, definitely this business is all about who you know. So like, building that relationship with him, obviously getting you to where you're at these days. You want to take a moment just to kind of step back a little bit into those high school days. You said you were from Columbia, Missouri. Did you participate in any other sports outside of football? I mean, can you maybe enlighten me on that one?
Yep, I love playing basketball. I loved playing basketball at the time. It was one of my favorite sports.
Gotcha. Anything else like wrestling, track, anything else? Or was it just basketball and football? Mainly
just basketball and football for my whole life, but I did track for 1 year. I was a jumper.
Gotcha. Interesting. Well, certainly as a basketball guy, I mean, you got to have at least some ups. So I do know that you have a relatively decent vert, so that's good. But why football, man? I mean, obviously you say that you really love basketball, but what makes football so special for you? I mean, why do you like that sport so much?
Just the love that I have for the game, and I love having fun. So I love competing with guys. And also, I love making connections. So football brings a lot of people from everywhere, all over the world, and just making connections with guys that you could be connected with for the rest of your life. I love that part about it.
Sure. So, let's talk about Pittsburg State. I know a lot of people get that confused with perhaps another school in a completely different state, and that's okay. But hey, you guys are putting yourselves on the map, doing a phenomenal job this season. Talk to me about Pittsburg State, what you're doing there as a student, and really just what makes that whole campus so special for you.
Well, it's just a great place overall. It's a great community, small community, but they got some amazing people here, and they'll do whatever they can for anybody here. It's just a great environment. I'm currently a general studies major. I had to switch my major, so in the spring I can worry about football and start training and stuff for the pro day, so I don't have to really worry about school. So I'll be done with that this December and just going from there.
Gotcha. And then, of course, playing defense, playing defensive end. Talk to me about y'all's defense, man. I mean, obviously you guys are doing well, but how would you describe your defense and your role?
I would say our defense as a whole team, as a whole unit, we're a nasty defense, kind of a relentless group. You know, when we cut on the film, our goal is to always see everybody running to the ball and finishing on the play and just giving amazing effort. That's one thing we rely on, is just giving out all your effort for everyone on the team together. And then individually, I'll just try to go out and do my best I can to perform and just do whatever I'm asked to do and make the plays that I'm able to make. Just make sure I'm executing my job and doing what I can to go ball.
Sure. And I know the gorillas move you around a little bit. You were talking to me before we got on here that they kind of move you like a little bit everywhere, even like in like a D tackle kind of role sometimes.
Yeah.
Which is kind of I don't know, it might sound silly to some people, but I mean you guys are certainly able to get after the ball. How can you maybe describe like how you're used now versus maybe how you project yourself at the next level? Can you kind of walk me through that?
How I'm used now, I wouldn't see myself really as much as a defensive tackle. I see myself more on the edge, setting the edge and rushing on the outside. But if I'm needed in the inside, I can go do both. That's what I feel like I'm putting on film this season, is that I have the capability of doing both, and I'm okay with doing both and don't have a problem with that.
Sure, but I mean, I think in general, I think a lot of people are going to want to see you at the next level, like outside on the edge, like you had said, just kind of, whether that be a stand-up or a guy who, has his hand in the dirt. How you feel about dropping back into coverage, man? You do that very often, or what?
Yeah, we got that in now to where I drop back in coverage in certain situations, but we haven't really had to use it this much or that much this season. But I always keep working on it and work on my footwork to be able to still have that ability to drop back in coverage.
Gosh, it kind of tease you there a little bit, because I know sometimes like these edge rushers, like they only got one thing in mind sometimes, and that is to get to the quarterback and to get that sack. But it's all good, man. Obviously you got some time from now until you get that opportunity in the pros to get better at that a little bit. So obviously you've obviously been a fan of this game for quite some time. When you're a little kid, who were you looking up to? Who was like that one guy in the league at the time that maybe you were a big fan of, whether it was a team or a player, maybe a guy at your position or maybe somewhere else? But I mean, give me a little feel for that for you as a fan of the game.
Just growing up, my favorite player was my dad, but being around other players too, having the option and to be around other players in the league at that time, I was a big fan of Javon Curse at the time, Albert Hainsworth at the time, and Keith Bullock as well. Those are three players that I really like outside of my dad when I was growing up. Love to watch those guys.
Sure. Javon Curse was a freak, man. I mean, he was doing a lot of great things there. Don't get me started about Hainsworth, but I mean, for the most part, I will say Javon Curse, definitely one that opened up a lot of eyes at the time, was really one of the best in the league when he was in the game. So let's talk about you, and then we'll circle back around, because I do want to talk about your dad a little bit. But let's talk about you. What do you feel separates you as a prospect? I mean, how do you think, why do you think a team would be interested in you for you, moving towards the professional ranks?
Maybe just because I come from a smaller school, Guys from smaller schools really rarely get this opportunity, and I feel like since I have this opportunity, I need to take advantage of it, and I will take advantage of it. And I feel like that's something that sets me apart, is that I'm going to take this opportunity and run with it.
Sure, sure. So, I mean, I definitely feel like one of the things that does set you apart is, kind of like you said. I mean, with a guy that is a small schooler, you have kind of that small school mentality at times where it's like complete disrespect, going out there to prove people wrong, to prove that you belong, and just to knock some heads and to really do some fantastic things on that defense. So I can't tell you how many times I feel like small school guys just have a better work ethic than a whole lot of other people that kind of get things handed to them. I ain't gonna mention any names.
Yeah, we just play with a chip on our shoulder. That's all. Just play with an extra chip on our shoulder.
Definitely, definitely. So what's been your most memorable moment so far throughout your career? I mean, I know you've been there for a while, but talk to me about your career and hey, what stands out, whether it be a game or play.
One of my favorite plays is the COVID season when we traveled to Stephen F. Austin. We had been talking about this play all week. When the receiver motions into the backfield, we're gonna check it to a call where I just come off the edge and the tackle's gonna unblock me. So we ran through that play all week, and then finally they called it in the game, and I executed my job and blew it all up in the backfield.
Cool, cool. Well, I mean, certainly, Stephen F. Austin, Division I program, going out there, getting some good plays against those guys, definitely putting you guys on the map for sure. So, okay, well, let's take a moment. I want to step out of football a little bit. Actually, before I step out of football, let's talk about something real quick. You had mentioned something about your dad playing the game, dad in Carlos Hall. Talk to me about him and his influence on you, if you don't mind, being a player and really, all of that, if you don't mind. Just kind of talk to me about it.
Yeah, he's had a huge influence and impact on me in the game, and just give me everything he can, spilling all the advice that he can to me, because he's already been there and he's been where I'm trying to get to. So whatever he tells me, I'm gonna take it and soak it all in and listen to him, because he knows the formula, and it's really nothing but work and just doing all the extra stuff. But he's been a big part of it, big part of it.
Awesome. And again, like I said, let's step off the field, man. Tell people a little bit about yourself, other than being a football player, whether it be hobbies, interests, or anything else you got going on in your life, man. Talk to us for a bit.
Outside of football, I really like doing stuff like outdoors, like landscaping and stuff like that, working on houses, working on yards, just pretty much stuff like that. Gardening. I like the outdoors. Big outdoors guy.
Okay, so big outdoors guy. So what does that all entail? That you are you hiking or are you fishing or what?
I like to go fishing. Not really much hiking. Just being outdoors, just being in the yard. I like doing stuff like yard work.
All right. And I know occasionally, like being outdoors, I know some guys might find themselves in front of a grill. Are you a grilling kind of guy? I mean, talk about that.
I'm not the one that does the grilling, but when there is a grill outside, or when it's nice outside and there's some grilling going on, my dad can throw it down. So I love some barbecue.
Awesome. So I know you said you love some barbecue, but do you have like a favorite like type of food or specific food that you really is one of your go-tos?
No, kind of like I like anything. Whatever's in front of me, I'm gonna eat it.
So you're not a picky eater at all?
Not really.
No,
Not
well,
really.
I guess that's not a bad thing.
Yeah, I used to not be a big fan of sushi for a while, from like elementary school all the way up to like last year. I finally started liking sushi.
Cool, cool. And any other hobbies or interests? You a big movie guy?
Yeah, I like movies. I like to watch Netflix every now and then when I get some free time just to hang out. I like to watch some Netflix, Hulu.
Gotcha. What are some of your go-tos there? What are you watching these days?
I recently just watched something called The Watcher or something like that on Netflix. It was about some family that was moving into a house and they apparently being watched. They were getting letters and stuff in the mail. It's based on a true story, but they never found who was watching the house. So it's kind of a bad ending, but it was a good for a little bit.
Well, hey man, you got to try new things. I mean, that's fine. So, hey, as we continue through our time here, I do want to kind of throw a question your way, man. I mean, I know you've been playing this game for a long time. A lot of people influencing you over the years, obviously that being your dad as well as some of your coaches. What do you feel has been one of the best lessons that you've learned throughout your time as an athlete? I mean, again, whether it be one of those from one of those guys, so coaches or your dad or whatever. So what's been one of those best lessons?
What I've really learned from my time playing football is just never give up on yourself, because I've seen so many good players play this game and so many guys that have had opportunities and not taking care of them or not taking advantage of them and just kind of gave up on themselves because times are hard at times or things were just too tough. But, everything's overcomable. As long as you keep a positive mindset, you can overcome anything, and things will work its way out. So
Sure.
pretty much.
Okay. Well, obviously you guys, like I had mentioned earlier, undefeated right now. So, I mean, a lot of high hopes for this season. I mean, you guys are going to be getting into the playoffs and hopefully making a long run there. You have any personal goals this season?
Personal goals, I'm hoping for all conference, but I haven't really had too many stats like tackles per game. I'm not a big stats guy. I'm just a do my job guy though, But as long as we go out and win and keep winning, I'm really down for whatever.
Well, hey man, that's all that matters. I mean, if at the end of the day you're raising a trophy, getting a ring, those things, I mean, those are some great moments. So
yeah, that's all I want to do, man. Is go out and win as a team and do this thing together and get some jewelry on my fingers.
Nice. Well, hey, as we wrap things up, I do want to give you one last opportunity. I know that there might be some scouts out there maybe wondering about you, what type of player and person you are. Some people may be coming to your games, your practices. I want you to take an opportunity and talk directly to those people and give them your pitch. Why do they need to take a chance on you, sign you, draft you, and what kind of play you would be for, a franchise. So go ahead and close us out with that.
I would just say that to any team, just give a shot on me, because I'm gonna come in and bust my butt and do as asked me and more. Do the extra things that's needed out of me, and I'm a teammate, guys. I'm a guy that's like in the locker room. I'm a like bring good things together, not bad things. I'm not a cancer to the locker room.
Gotcha.
I'm a good player for the organization.
Sure.
Wherever.
So, I mean, obviously you got your priorities right. I mean, getting the W first. So, and you guys are doing a great job this season. I feel like you do have a lot of things going for you, when it comes to things like size, again, 6'4", 235, 240. So pretty solid there. Some long arms, about 33 and 3/4, which is really good. So you got that length that I know NFL teams love. And I feel like that you can stand up at the next level. You could put your hand in the dirt. You got a lot of versatility to do that. So some team's going to take a chance on you, man, bring you in. But obviously, before we get there, got to finish this season. So do wish you best of luck moving forward with everything else you got going on. All right.
Yes,
all right,
sir.
man.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much.
Sure. Once again, we got with us Keiondre Hall. He's a defensive end at Pittsburg State. Definitely check him out.